What's up guys, Steve Bizzogany, Philly's real estate agent. Today we're going to be talking about Philly buyer grants and programs. If you're a first-time home buyer in Philadelphia, you've probably heard this before. Don't worry, the city will give you $10,000 to $15,000 to buy a house. Well, that statement is half true. Today I'm going to be breaking down real buyer grants and programs in Philadelphia, who actually qualifies and what's mostly just hype. Program number one, Philly First Home Grant. This is the program most people are talking about when they're talking about Philadelphia home buyer grants. Philly First Home it can provide up to about $10,000 towards your down payment and closing costs. Here's what matters. You must be a first-time home buyer, or you can't have owned a home in the last 3 years. There are household income limits, and yes, that includes everyone in the home, not just you. You also do have to complete a home buyer education course. And most importantly, the funds are limited and can run out. So basically this is like real money, but it's not unlimited. It's not automatic. It's not guaranteed. It's finite and you need to apply for it in order to get it. Program number two, PHFA, which stands for Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. This is a state level program, not a city program. It does work really well with Philadelphia. So PHFA, it offers low down payment options, sometimes as little as 3%. It offers down payment assistance loans that can be paired with your mortgage. It's a bit more flexible in terms of like credit requirements that many buyers can absolutely expect. And predictable guidelines, which means less guesswork for you as a buyer. There is a little bit of a catch though. So you must be using a PHFA approved lender. And just like with the Philly First Home, there are income limits that still apply. But this is one of the most reliable options out there, so definitely ask your lender about this one. Program number three is the PHFA K-FIT program. So we talked about what PHFA stands for. K-FIT stands for Keystone Forgivable in 10 years. This one is a bit underrated in my opinion. K-FIT can actually provide $5,000 to $8,000 in assistance towards your home purchase. It's structured as a loan, but it's forgivable over time. If you live in the home long enough, it just simply goes away. I would say this one is best for for buyers who are they have like moderate incomes and they plan to stay put for a while. So yes, just like every mortgage, this one's gonna have paperwork too, but it's totally worth it if the loan just goes away. So definitely remember to ask your lender about this one as well. It's definitely worth knowing about. Program number four is FHA plus local assistance. So this is not really a single program. It's more of like a stacking strategy. So the reason we use FHA is also because they're more forgiving on credit history. And in some cases, they can also be combined with city or state local programs and assistance. Now there is a bit of a trade-off. The monthly payment that you get will maybe be slightly on the higher side. But for many first-time home buyers, that flexibility matters more than the perfection of like the perfect loan. So the thing that's important here is you just want to be careful not to drive that payment too high on yourself. Because remember, you do live in the payment, not the purchase price. The payment is what comes every month. The purchase price is what is just one number, one time. Program number five, employer, union, or specialty grants. So these are real, but they're very niche. So like some hospitals, universities, unions, large employers, they're all very often offer housing assistance. So they're often tied to where you work or how long you've been employed, things like that. The amounts will vary and not everybody who works there will qualify for this. But I will say this, most buyers actually miss these because they just simply never ask about them. So always check with HR. Worst case, they just say no. All right, let's talk about the overhyped part of this. Let's clear this up. First of all, when it comes to these programs, not everyone qualifies. It's also not free money with no rules. This is not just, throwing money away kind of thing. Approval is never guaranteed, as with any mortgage. And social media posts online, you'll often see them skip the parts about income limits and funding caps and all the other fine print that we talked about. So just be aware, if you see something that like posts about it, makes it sound super easy, just pause for a second and ask a few questions. Let's talk about who these programs actually work for. So these programs are best for people who are like first-time buyers who have a steady income, buyers who can afford a monthly payment, but might need some help up front with like down payment money and things like that, and closing cost money. People who are buying a primary residence, not an investment purchase, and buyers who plan ahead instead of just touring homes like with no plan whatsoever. Timing and preparation do matter more than the actual program themselves. So in closing, here are my takeaways. Grants don't buy houses, strategy does. When used correctly, these programs can absolutely help. Used blindly, then they're just gonna burden you and slow you down with just countless amounts of paperwork. If you wanna know which programs you actually qualify for and which ones you should just ignore, I'm happy to walk you through them before you start the house hunting process. Thanks for watching and welcome to Buying in Philadelphia. See you guys on the next one.